Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having a great day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. On the 31st of March, Bittrex, Bittrex, one of the largest and oldest US exchanges, announced that they will be closing their operations due to the country's current regulatory and economic environment. According to the official statement, users' funds will remain secure and available for withdrawal at any time during the wind down of U.S. operations. The announcement will not affect customers outside the country using Bittrex Global. There's actually, I'm looking through the things. I'm not sure if a lot of it is in this video. Something spectacularly weird is happening. A very large amount of prominent cryptocurrency companies are announcing openly that they're actually leaving the US. I may not even know. These were not jokes. I spoke about this many times before on the channel because I personally was a little confused and flabbergasted that these companies have been asking for proper regulation for a very long time. This isn't anything new. Like, this isn't a new we need regulations kind of thing within the cryptocurrency exchange space. But now, after 7 years of asking and getting no information, and all these companies receiving notices from the SEC and the CFTC that they've done something wrong, you're being fined $5 million. You offered this to Americans back in 2017, which makes no sense. So it makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense, because if you have been here for the last, I give it a good 8 weeks. You've noticed the shift in tone of regulators within the United States, and even more so, we can even hone in directly on what's his name, Gary Miller, who's the guy who runs the head of the SEC. He mentioned recently at some kind of a hearing, he was like, I don't understand. He's like, the rules are crystal clear when it comes to the cryptocurrency space, but no, he said this. He was like, no cryptocurrency exchange is following the rules. And I sat there wondering, I was like, well, if you have 7 people in the classroom all telling the teacher, I don't understand what you're trying to teach, either those 7 students are not paying attention or the teacher's doing something wrong. The teacher here being the SEC. When I told you, and not even predicted, this was just logic, that we are witnessing right now a literal shakedown of the cryptocurrency space, whether it be for prices or whether it be for people who are in the space. Never forget, we are not supposed to be in the space anymore. The original idea of crypto was, the everyday common man being in crypto and being able to accumulate the coins. This has now become like a rich-only game. I tell you this all the time, so I don't really have to reiterate it. When you talk about the people who are trying to make hundreds of millions and billions in this game, they don't want us here because they want more of the pie for themselves. That's the way that the world works and probably has worked since the Romans or the Greeks. But when you look at the actual facts of the larger companies who are actively, like, this is no longer speculation. This isn't 2016 speculation of what will one day be. These companies are trying to open up in the United States. They're trying to get a foothold. They already have a massive foothold. But in crypto, they're relatively unknown. The Fidelities, the Blackstones, the BlackRocks. They're now trying to act in the news that we keep getting, speculatively, that JP Morgan is not only trying to get into the cryptocurrency space, but allegedly also trying to shake out cryptocurrency companies. This is how you do it. You pay off the regulators. Like, I told you this before. If there has never been a dollar that was passed across a table inside of an SEC office by anyone towards the regulators to get them to do their bidding, I would be shocked. So in this same exact way, when you talk about Coinbase and Binance and Kraken and Gemini and Bittrex, and I think there's 2 more, like smaller names, but they're still there, all discussing these. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying. This is all done deliberately. I don't write or say these things because I like the way that they sound. This is clearly being done because the people at the top want to continue remaining at the top, and this is how you get rid of the competition. Isn't it weird that when you talk about a company leaving the United States, the news is always they're still doing fine everywhere else around the world except for the US. Everywhere else has regulation, for those of you who didn't pick up on that. It's the same exact thing when we heard why there's a difference between Binance and Binance US. It is just the United States that has all these things going on with it. Bittrex co-founder Richie Lai, or Lay, L-A-I, stated that the U.S. regulatory environment has created an uneven competitive landscape, ultimately affecting the company's operations, despite over 9 years of operation within the country. He said 9 years later, the crypto ecosystem is very different. Regulatory requirements are often unclear and enforced without appropriate discussion or input, resulting in an uneven competitive landscape. He added that due to these obstacles, operating in the country is no longer feasible. Hence, the board of directors decided to close operations on the 30th of April, allowing users to withdraw their funds before that date. If you have any money on there, take it off. That is to say, this is a well-known old cryptocurrency exchange. You might have had money on there from a number of years ago that you might have forgotten. Go check it out. You might have a couple of Satoshis or an Ether, who knows, especially back in the long ago when prices were very cheap. Yeah, this is happening all over the place. And I know that the main goal is to kick out companies and people from the space so that the larger players can continue their reign. But the New York Stock Exchange tried that years ago and nobody wanted to use them. So I think this is a situation where the larger players think that they're doing something smart, but all they're doing is stepping on their own foot while they're trying to run a race. So that's the Bittrex news. Moving along. Oh, and this one shocked the living fudge out of me, because these two are the poster boys for United States cryptocurrency regulations. I was shocked. US-based crypto exchange Gemini, founded by Cameron and Tyler Winklevi, are reportedly looking to launch an international cryptocurrency derivatives exchange. See, right? Yeah, you would assume that they would never do that. If you've watched the last 12 months of this channel, how many times have you heard me say Gemini's not doing anything? Like, why is every other crypto exchange expanding? They're all moving to different countries and, getting other licenses. Gemini has done nothing. I assume those letters that they got from the SEC were little love tap to the face, and they weren't too happy about it. The platform would specifically offer perpetual futures, a type of derivative that is banned in the US, for retail traders, as it doesn't have an expiration date and can be traded with sizable leverage, and is therefore considered a highly risky product. The news follows November's bankruptcy of... No, it does not. Don't even do that. Don't try. Whoever wrote this article, how dare you? This was a very big thing at the beginning of the year and the end of last year. Every time that something happened with anything, your pet hamster ate a carrot, your mother baked a cake, you were walking out of the house and you forgot your keys, everyone kept on blaming it on FTX over and over and over and over. I promise you, this has nothing to do with the collapse of FTX or what Sam Bankman-Fried did. They're realizing that it's time to go. They're finally understanding that. Can you imagine? The Winklevoss twins have been trying to get regulation in crypto within the US since 2013. That is 10 years ago. And all we know about crypto regulations is that if you think you're not doing something, you're probably doing something. At some point in the future, you're going to get a letter from the SEC saying that you did something when they told you not to do something because there's no cryptocurrency regulation, therefore you're in trouble. Indeed, in addition to the Gemini plans, it was reported earlier this month that leading US-based Coinbase was looking to launch an overseas platform in order to offer perpetual futures. Coinbase has its own regulatory concerns, having received a Wells notice from the US SEC suggesting an imminent enforcement action is coming. I don't have it in this video. There were rumors that I think it was Gemini, Kraken, and Coinbase. I believe they're also looking to expand properly into Canada. As far as having, a literal home base there as well. Very interesting times. We all know why this is happening. As always, it's always money. Always follow the money. It's always the exact same thing over and over. But it's a real shame. The US could be the place to go for cryptocurrencies. The place. Imagine everyone rushing. Everyone being like, I don't want to go to Germany. I don't want to go to France. I don't want to go to Hong Kong. Why would I go to Tokyo when I can go to New York? When I can go to Texas, when I can go to Washington. I'm headed to Florida. So anyway, yeah. Gemini is going to be launching a brand new exchange. No name on what it's going to be called. Fascinating. And we will be getting more news like this over the course of the next couple of months because the SEC has literally stated the rules are clear and no one's following them. Little sociopathic, but that's also another conversation. That's the Gemini news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, where are the words? There we go. Fold, as in folding a piece of paper. A Bitcoin rewards company has announced that it will be collaborating with Visa, which will become the exclusive global network partner for Fold's prepaid debit product in North America, Europe, and Latin American countries. The move aims to expand the reach of the first Visa co-branded Bitcoin rewards debit card launched in the spring of 22 to more Fold users worldwide. The announcement comes as nearly $1 billion in transactions have gone through Fold since the launch of the Fold Visa debit. I'm tired of saying that word. Debit card, and users have been rewarded with over $30 million in Bitcoin since the launch of the app. The CEO of the company, Will Reeves, said, "In order to meet the growing demand for Bitcoin on-ramps outside the US, we're thrilled to expand our engagement with Visa. We believe that Bitcoin can be a powerful tool for people all over the world to take control over their finances." There's that sentence again. "And we are committed to making Bitcoin as easy and accessible as possible for everyone." You know what I'm going to say. A large number of CEOs, company owners, I don't care who they are, they love the sentence, "We believe that Bitcoin can change the world." One, it can and it has. Two is always the, we're going to make Bitcoin as easy and as accessible for everyone. It is, and it has always been. You can use Bitcoin right now. What you're trying to say is that you want people to use your card so that payments end up flowing through your company, making sure that people don't understand that they could just simply be using the Bitcoin blockchain without two other middlemen during the transaction taking their cut. So, yeah. I don't know Fold, but I know this was a very big announcement. Everyone seems to be partnering with Visa and or opposite. Visa seems to be partnering with everyone. For those of you who missed that news about half a year ago, Visa and MasterCard seemingly randomly, wink, came out of nowhere and announced that Bitcoin was the greatest thing in the entire world and they were going to make sure that everyone had access to it. There it goes again. Everyone already has access to Bitcoin. What they mean to say is that they understand that they can be redundant. If enough people in the world opened their eyes and realized what they have in front of them, what Bitcoin is, stood away from the lies that other people told them many, many years ago, we would live in a world where we would not need a payment processor anymore. We would not need a bank. We already don't need banks, but I understand that the transition period is quite difficult for a lot of people, especially if you are relatively new to the cryptocurrency space. It's difficult to wrap your mind around the idea that we have blockchain now. We have decentralized methods for you to be your own bank. You no longer need a middleman or middlemen to take transaction fees from you because you have the actual blockchain network right there. Stable coins give you a higher return than you having an actual bank account. While all that is explicitly true, how do you get that news out to 8 billion people? When 8 billion people know that news, we've all been brainwashed for so long about banks. You stay with the banks. You stay, better the bank you know. Anyway, that's the Fold. A Bitcoin rewards company is announcing that they're going to be working with Visa. But once again, Visa's working with everyone in the cryptocurrency space because they want to make sure that in the future, when everyone wises up and realizes that they could just be using the Bitcoin blockchain, they'll take out their Visa card instead and tap and swipe that. And then Visa keeps on making the pennies. That's the Fold news. And yeah, let's move on. Also this hasn't been in the news in a while, and it seems to be picking up once again. Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, is continuing its burn of Luna Classic tokens to assist the Terra Classic community to reduce the total supply of the asset. Following the resumption of the Luna Classic burn by Binance after halting it in December 2022, the top exchange disclosed when it would further burn more Luna Classic tokens. As published, Binance converted 50% of the trading fees generated from Luna Classic spot and margin trading in March to Luna Classic, sending billions of Terra Luna Classic tokens to the community burn wallet on the 1st of April. Per an update from the Luna Burn Tracker Twitter handle, 1.6 billion tokens worth around 200,000. The coin's price is very low, so use your math there. At the time of the transaction, was taken out of the market cap forever on Saturday, courtesy of Binance. Terra Luna Classic is a special coin. Terra Luna collapsed. Terra Luna Classic was birthed from the madness of it. There are trillions of Terra Luna Classic coins. The community knows this. They've activated many different burns on the protocol when transactions happen on the on-chain. Coins are burned. There are cryptocurrency exchanges who, when transactions happen on the cryptocurrency exchanges and also on the Terra Luna Classic chain, the coins are burned. Binance is the largest cryptocurrency exchange on the planet. At the end of every month, I think that's the timing. They burn any Terra Classic coins that were part of the protocol or whatever. I'm tired of talking about it. So now 1.6 billion coins have been burned in the last burn, and there are many other burns and burn. That's the Terra Luna Classic. Binance coins gone forever. News. This hasn't been in the news in a while. We used to have, an egregious amount of Terra Luna Classic news all the time. 23 billion coins are burned. 14 billion coins are burned over and over and over. Who knows? I'm sure they're still doing it. There's also, what was it? Like some radio DJ or some music label is also burning. It's the cryptocurrency space is weird. It just gets weirder and weirder. That's the Terra Luna Classic burn news. Whoa. How'd they do that? And yeah. Let's move on. Also in the news, Dubai's property market is transforming as crypto millionaires, bankers from Asia, and wealthy Russians seek to shield assets move in. That was a weird sentence. Data shows that the influx of these high net worth individuals has driven up rental costs, fees for private schools, groceries, transportation, and housing. Can you imagine already living in a very expensive, costly place, and then it gets even more expensive because other richer people move in and drive up prices? That has to feel terrible. That has to be so. Imagine making like 800,000 per year, and you're like, yeah, I'm super rich. And then somebody else comes in and like, yeah, I make 80 million per year. Anyway, according to a recent Bloomberg finding, this is like the most first world article I've ever read in my entire life. According to a recent Bloomberg finding, a couple was sent packing, after being told that the landlord wanted to move in with his family. However, the house was later put back on rent for $6,000 a month, a 100% increase from the couple's initial price. I watched so many videos on YouTube. You would be, I think, terrified if you knew the number. I watch a lot of, you ever see like those CNBC videos, or like, you must have seen it, like, is it time to leave New York? Where they're talking to all these, if you haven't seen that video, go watch it. It's incredibly dystopian. Where they're talking to all these people who are like, hey, my name's Mary, and I have a 1-bedroom in New York. I was paying $3,200, and then I got a letter from my landlord, and he was like, hey, your rent's $5,500 now. And she's like, I can't pay that. And then like they're looking for other places to rent in New York City, and they can't, because everything else is starting at like $4,300. In order to move in, you need a first month deposit, and also a normal deposit, and a last month's deposit, and like a guarantor. It's like all these real, so like you need like at least like $20,000 to be able to move into the new place before you've even paid your actual normal rent, which I think is just absolutely incredible. If you have been paying attention also to the rising rental costs, I'm once again honing in just on the US because it's really not happening. That, I mean, we also have London, but London's London, and London is a very special place. Anyway, across the US, like people are finding that their rent has gone up by like 25% in like 6 months, and it's like, you know that your tenant, that their paycheck didn't go up by 25% in the last 6 months, right? You have to at some point be like completely realistic. Once again, for those of you who don't know, if you don't watch the other channel, I am also a landlord. And you gotta be realistic. You gotta understand that if you are greedy enough to try and raise your rent, you have to understand that there's not going to be an egregious amount of people out there who are also like even willing to want to pay that amount of rent. If you were charging them $1,300, $1,400 before, and you raise it to $3,000 next year, you gotta be realistic at some point in your life, because that's not how things work. It says, interestingly, after suing the landlord when he went from $3,000, just be honest. Like, dude, it's your property. Be like, hey, I don't like what you guys are paying. You guys want to pay $6,000? Oh no, I'm sorry, you gotta go. Just don't lie to them, because that's how, you know. The couple realized a staggering backlog of other tenants with similar situations. According to a real estate advisor, CBRE Group Inc., the average annual rent for a single family villa. Oh my gosh, what? No way. The average rent for a single family villa jumped to $80,000 in the year through to February, while the average apartment rent surged 28% to $27,000. $80,000 for rent. What a life to be a time. However, UAE officials claim that price increases were more modest than elsewhere, as high inflation dents spending power globally. Metin Mitchell, the founder of C-Suite executive recruitment firm working in the region for decades. I said region. I thought it said in the region of the decades. I was like, can I no longer English? Like, I feel like I'm seeing something. He said the nature of Dubai is changing. It's getting richer. This is becoming a super dynamic economy again, but it's also becoming more of a Monaco, servicing the needs of affluent and high net worth people. That's weird. This article mentions that like it's crypto millionaires who are driving up the price, and I read nothing about that in the actual article, but I'm pretty sure it's crypto millionaires, because what is it? I think Dubai has it's zero, right? It's a 0% income tax. That's what it is. 0% income tax. So it does make a lot of sense that a lot of people would be moving there, especially. So this is going to sound super weird. I read a lot of books that pertain to finance and other things like that. And I was reading that a lot of very rich enclaves, such as Monaco, such as Dubai, parts of the UAE, what have you, are gaining in rapid popularity as rich people are basically looking for ways to shield themselves from normal people. I know that sounds weird, but that's literally exactly what it is. They're basically trying to figure out ways not only to like escape inflation, to park your money somewhere, but the rich are literally trying to leave normal people behind, and they're finding these, utopian places that they're moving to where basically they can kind of flaunt their wealth. There was a video that I saw, this was years ago, video I saw on YouTube that was discussing about Monaco, and this woman, she was like, yeah, well, I live here because I want to be able to wear my diamonds and my jewels. And the guy was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, there are cameras everywhere. Like I think there's like one policeman for every 15 or 20 people living in, like it's inside the country. It's something like astronomical. Like they're like the most per capita. And she was like, I want to walk around with my diamonds and my pearls and my jewels and like never feel afraid. So that's kind of the idea. Anyway, unsurprising. Absolutely unsurprising. This is kind of happening in a lot of different places. Miami, New York. I want to say LA, but LA's rough from what I can tell by the YouTubes. It's not a. Anyway, that's the rich people need to get it under control because the rents are rising. And I wonder, in a lot of these situations, you raised your monthly rent from $3,000 to $6,000. Did you find a renter? Because Dubai's always building new property. People can go other places. People aren't forced to spend $6,000 on your abode. That's the Dubai news. And yeah, let's move on. Also, I think people wanted this to be news, but it's not really news. According to data from cryptocurrency automated teller machine aggregation website Coin ATM Radar, over 3,600 crypto ATMs went offline in March. Since the end of 2022, the number of crypto ATMs has declined by 13% in the last 3 months. If you've never used a cryptocurrency ATM, it's probably because you're living in the future. A long time ago, at least long for cryptocurrencies. I mean like 2015, 16, 17, maybe 2018. Maybe 2018. It was actually quite difficult to get crypto. What you have now, the system that we have, you can basically go wherever you want and buy. You have your pick of the litter. Which crypto exchange do you want to use? Which one is in your jurisdiction? Which one has the prettiest colors when you go to their website? A long time ago, you had Coinbase. You had Bittrex, and then like 2 others. And nearly often, a lot of the crypto exchanges were like going offline. They weren't working. Banks stopped working with them. There was always some kind of an issue. There was local Bitcoins, which we also just spoke about 2 months ago, or a month ago. For those of you who don't know, that also just went out of business because regulations, and also no one's using them. Nobody wants to meet you in a dark alley anymore to go exchange paper for Bitcoin. But years ago, one of the only options for a lot of people, especially if you were in a relatively unbanking popularly country, was a Bitcoin ATM. So now that we've gotten to the point where you no longer have to really leave your house. Like, no one really goes to an ATM anymore. Like, I mean, like, literally, like, you may see people going up to an ATM, but when was the last time you actively needed an ATM every single day in your life? Right, exactly. So the same exact thing holds true for Bitcoin ATMs. The idea was years ago is that it would be an easy, carefree way for you to be able to walk up to a machine. And here's the kicker. Without, KYC or AML. You could walk up to the machine. Some of them do have cameras now. You could walk up to the machine, simply put money into it. You would hold up your QR code to the screen. Like, there are thousands of videos showing people do it. And you would get your Bitcoin from it. No KYC needed. But as we've, progressed in the cryptocurrency space, not that people don't need these machines, but in North America and Europe and Asia, You're not going to be running to these machines anymore. According to data from Coin ATM Radar, the number of ATMs worldwide has decreased by 13% since the end of last year. At the time, 39,179 crypto ATMs were installed globally. In January, 1,587 crypto ATMs went offline, making the second time a large number of machines have gone offline since the loss of 399 crypto ATMs in September of last year. Like I said, it's not that it's not news, but it's more of a we've just kind of moved on from that era of needing to use cryptocurrency ATMs to get our crypto. They are a good way to acquire them. But yeah, this number is going to continue going down because, you know, there are thousands of other places to be able to acquire them. News. Yeah, that's what was that? Sorry. I grabbed something on the table. I didn't know what it was. It was a piece of plastic. It didn't feel like plastic. And I looked at it quickly to see what was touching my hand. It was, why do I have plastic on the table? Yeah. Let's move on. I don't know what that was. I have no idea why it was. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, American Crypto Academy, Martin Stoyer, Buddy McButtface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad. And let's move on. Empire Queen, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave the Dealers in, Captain Summing, the Z-Way, Lay, Mobarazzi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren De Silva, Corded Biddy, Troy, Olga, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman, Hayek, Arpinos, Throma, John Sarsi, Niana, Marita, Bibliophobia, Adam, Grace, Wise, Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold 3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coin, Jester Crypto, Anytime Is March Gonna Stab, Big Me a Cake, Tigger, Ramacho, Nisa, and Crypto Milan. Almost did it. I was so close. I couldn't say the last name. Jeez Louise. And on Crypto with Lionel, I was so close. I could feel it. I was like, I'm going to do it. I almost did it. Anyway, thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who... I'm lightheaded now. Woo! Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, and or has subscribed. The cryptocurrency space is always weird, and thank you for watching my weird videos. I know they're not normal. Don't worry. You don't have to lie to me. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. To hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.